Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. For today I wanted to talk about a conversation I was having with one of my mentees about, what to talk to or questions to ask CTOs and engineering leads of different organizations that you might meet at meetups or conferences and things like that, and how you'll strike up a conversation and how you can sort of start to build those relationships and endear yourselves to them so that you kind of start moving through that pipeline and potentially getting offered opportunities or roles at that organization. And there's lots of different ways to do this, but here's kind of a loose framework that I think could make the conversation a little easier to approach. First things first, before we even kind of get into the key areas that I think you can kind of touch on to have a good conversation that helps you sort of get to know them and have them get to know you. I want to point out that the goal here is not to just get them to like you or just get them to know about you. This is kind of a two-way thing where you want to see if this is someone that you vibe with. Do you get along? Do you get a good energy? This could be your future boss. Is this someone you even want to work with? And I know this seems really obvious, but I've often seen when people are kind of really eager to find a new role, new job, they kind of forget this part and they focus more on trying to look good to the different CTOs and engineering leads, instead of thinking is this mutually kind of is the vibe there, is the connection there? So just something I just wanted to point out before we get into that. So moving right along, there's three different areas that I think really kind of help anchor the conversation, right? So the first thing to really remember is just being genuinely curious, right? You want to sort of frame these questions around things that you do want to know about the company, that you do want to know from this person, that you think the answers would be valuable to. So it's important to kind of have a sense of curiosity there. And the way you can to give you something to more frame the questions around, the next two areas are, one, let them brag about their past. So an example of that is, just start the conversation so tell me about, where you started, how did you get to where you are today? You can hear more about their career path. And then as they're describing each of the organizations, you can sort of listen for any challenges or things that are interesting to you. It's that sounds like it was tough. How did you transition to that? Or how would you compare organization A to organization B in terms of what you learned and how that contributed to where you are now? These are all, useful things for you to have answers to, but also, it gives them a chance to sort of talk about their wins and their triumphs over their career and the lessons that, were hard earned by them. And then the final piece is, especially with people that are in these leadership positions, is they've always got different, core problems they're trying to solve, whether that's hiring, whether that's some kind of workflow issue, they've got some reliability issues. So give them a chance to sort of, sell you on the problems they're solving now. So ask them, hey, what's the biggest challenge at, in your current role, and things like that, and and what have you been currently trying? And you can get an idea, because as they're kind of describing the different problems that they're facing and what they're trying to get around, is it gives you a lot of data points of where you can fit in, or any skill gaps or things that you can sort of look into to make yourself better suited to that. So just to recap there, the three things is come in with some curiosity, let them brag about their past, and let them sell you on their present. I don't know many CTOs or engineering leads that aren't always looking for, to sell people on their current company and find new talent. So make that easy for them. Anyway, that's all for today. If you have any questions or thoughts, or you maybe have some questions and things that you find really helpful in these conversations, put them in the comments below. I'd love to hear about it.